For more, let's speak to our reporter, Chris Moore. Chris, tell us, what more do we know about Robert Abela?
Well, he's from the outgoing Prime Minister's Labour Party. Obviously, this vote was held not amongst the Maltese public, but within the Labour Party. He campaigned on issues including social housing, questioning the role of big business on the island of Malta. But at the same time, as I said, somebody very much from inside the system, a former legal advisor to the outgoing Prime Minister, the son of a former president. And in terms of that scandal, which has really been all over Maltese politics for the last couple of years, it's been a preoccupation for most citizens on the island. Well, his criticism of the outgoing but not really going much further than that. Now, that scandal has seen unprecedented protests really on this small island nation, a kind of awakening of public consciousness on that front. And as I said, this vote taking place just within the Labour Party, and it remains to be seen how it's welcomed on the streets.
Yeah, so the Labour Party might feel like it's moving on, but what about the public? Do you think there's any chance this scandal will be going away?
Well, as I said, it has overshadowed everything for the last couple of years. At the time of her killing, Mrs. Coroana Galizia, writing in the wake of the release of the Panama Papers, mentioning many of the companies and names which ended up being associated with all of this. It ended up in the end with the resignation of two figures close to Mr. Muscat, Conrad Mitzi and Keith Shremby, who was his chief of staff. He ended up being arrested and in the end released, though remains under investigation. But as I said, in terms of the reaction on not just on the streets here in Malta, but among the politicians in Brussels, is the issues raised by that scandal really which linger, issues of finance on this island, offshore finance and banking, issues about access to European passports for wealthy people. Malta is part of the European Union, also part of the Schengen zone. And as such, a Maltese passport offers you pretty much unfettered access to the EU, and a host of issues also over the independence of the judiciary and people who've gone into the profession to which Miss Coroana Galizia devoted her life, namely journalism, complaining of intimidation. There was pressure on the streets on Mr. Muscat to stand aside, which he eventually did, but that pressure also coming from Brussels.
All right, thank you very much, Chris. Chris Moore reporting from Valletta.